Hello everyone, Owen Jennings here, your spiritual guide and empowerment coach, coming in with the energies of the week from today, the 17th of November, until Sunday, the 23rd of November. A little later than usual. If you can hear bells in the background, it's my cat um, shaking her collar. Um, anyway, so it's quite a week this week. Lots of things happening astrologically in the skies. Um, this is the week to create your future timeline and set your intentions for what you want to achieve or what you want to try to achieve in 2026. Um, sort of making your long term plans. And we know plans can change, and that's fine, but it's whatever feels right for you this week. We have a new moon coming up in Scorpio on Thursday, and it is a very powerful new moon. Scorpio is all about depth, it's all about intuition, it's all about facing your shadow, it's also about really getting deep with your emotions. So, really tuning in to what it is you want this week. Now, you've been working on this because I've been talking about this sort of thing for a while now. So, have you already let go of what you need to let go of? Have you made room for new things to come in? A lot of us are still carrying things that we feel we just can't let go of because we don't want to let people down, or because we don't know in a logical way if we should let go of them, but in an intuitive way we do know. So this week's really going to highlight the strength of your intuition and your inner knowing. And we also are in an expansive time. So Mercury is doing lots of things this week. I wrote it down because I was reading about it. So on Tuesday, Mercury goes retrograde in Scorpio. That's all about expanding the mind and limitless possibility. And then we have the Scorpio new moon on Thursday. And then there's a Mercury cazimi on the same day, apparently, and that's when Mercury meets the sun and the moon. And that's all about infinite possibilities. So well, we're being invited not only to tune into our own intuition, but to ask for guidance, to tune into the universal energies around us, to ask our guides for clarity, to ask our angels for guidance. It's not just about doing it on our own, all right? Um, Expanding into the mind of the higher self. So, what does your higher self want for you? Now, your higher self is slightly different to your intuition. Your higher self is kind of, your intuition is more inner, and your higher self is more, look, I know what we've come here to do, right? And that is also linked to um, the universal energies more as well. So there's a lot going on, and the planets this week are helping us to connect in there. So this week, make a list. This is my invitation to you. Make a list of what you would like to see happening next year. Now, it might not be a specific goal. It might be, you know, you want to improve your health or you want to do some more exercise. It might be that you're intending only to do things that light you up. That should be a permanent goal, by the way. Um, it might be that um, you're not going to let other people drain your energy. It might be that you're going to up your spiritual practices. So it doesn't have to be anything major. But for some of you, there will be some major changes coming up, and you know they have been kind of brewing. And this week, you're going to get more clarity around them and what steps you need to take. In the tarot, I pulled the Star card, which is quite appropriate. So the Star card is about wishing on a star. Really, sending up your wishes and intentions into the universe, asking for help, asking for clarity, if you're anything like me, you might be having strange dreams at the moment. And that's basically when, your psyche is letting you know that maybe, depending on the dream, obviously, but maybe that you're not quite in alignment with where you want to be yet. And a lot of us are in this kind of transitional period, and that's all okay, but just take notice of it. What is it trying to tell you? There's going to be a lot more spiritual awakening this week as well, and more of you really wanting to know what your soul purpose is. Some of you already know it, but really getting firm on that and really starting to weave that into your life. And then at the weekend, we move into sort of Sagittarius season. So Sagittarius is all about expansion as well as joy, and how far can we go. So it's a good week this week. It's powerful, but use it. Use it to plant the seeds that you want to plant for your future. Use it to maybe write some affirmations. Use it to make a plan, write it down. I love writing stuff down because it really helps your mind get on board with it. But really try and tune into what your inner self is telling you, more than what your ego might be telling you, because quite often our ego will try to dissuade us from something. So what is it you want? And maybe just really tune into, like, what is the one thing I want to um, sow the seeds for now, and what is it that I want to see in 2026? When you think about it, we've been in, or we still are in, a universal year 9, and we're heading into a universal year 1. So it's going to be a much faster pace next year in theory. Lots of new beginnings for lots of people. Obviously your own personal year will have more of an impact on you individually, but collectively things will start moving forward. So, if you found 2025 has been about letting go, there's a reason for that, because 9 is about letting go. 9 is about endings and completions. And then the 1 brings in those new beginnings. So, there are no mistakes. So, what is it you're finishing up so that you can bring in something new next year? Um, but I feel it's also mainly about your internal voice. So tuning into your intuition for sure every day, tuning into your higher self, even tuning into, the higher realms for that sort of clarity and guidance, and trying to persuade your mind that it's okay for you to follow what you're being shown. And if there are still things within you that are at odds with where your intuition wants you to go, or your higher self wants you to go, there'll be a reason for that. It's usually conditioning, it's usually outdated beliefs, it might be what other people are telling you. I really want you to try and close down that noise as much as you can, and I know it's difficult. And just really, every day this week, really take time to tune in, okay? And don't do what you feel you have to do in and what I mean by that is, don't do what you feel you have to do if specifically if that is for the good of somebody else. And that sounds harsh, but it's more about tuning in to what you need and desire to do for your well-being, for your evolvement, okay, not for anybody else's. Because a lot of you have been tuning out into other people's needs and fears and wants and dreams, and not your own, okay? So this week could be a real turning point for you. It's a chance to change direction if you want, but more than anything, it's a chance to bring all the inner work you've been doing, bring it online, not literally, but bring it online and focus on that, and continue. Walk the talk. I'm laughing because I've got to be doing this as well. Walk the talk, don't just talk about it. Take the action. Um, Anything that doesn't feel right, say no to it. Okay. And when you do that, you'll be rewarded with things that do feel like, do feel like they're more in alignment, and you'll want to say yes to them naturally. Okay. Make no a full sentence. If you're like me, you might always feel you have to explain why you're saying no, but you absolutely don't have to. All right. Um, but it can be a really dreamy week this week. So really, please, please, please take time every day to connect in to your intuition. What's it telling you? Especially when things don't feel right. Okay. But also use it for positive intention. So tune into your intuition, tune into your higher self, tune into the higher realms and your guides, and ask them, okay, show me, what are my next steps? What do I need to do to get to where I want to be? Because it's not a case of going from A to B without taking action in the middle. You will have to take action. Okay? So, and you might need to take action this minute or this week, but as long as you've got an idea of what you need to do, write it down if you can, or put it, if I like to write stuff down, you might want to put it on your computer or your laptop or whatever, or your phone. Just have it somewhere. Maybe create a vision board. I'm just going to bring in my guides here. Right, so everything Olwen has said is right, okay? So listen to her, but also listen to yourself. You are your own best guide, okay? What feels right for you? So if you're setting boundaries, you'll probably be tested, but make sure that you stick within your boundaries. It might be hard. People might not be used to it, but they will soon get used to it. As Owen said, make no a full sentence. There is no need to explain yourself. Look at what your dream life would look like and how can you get more of that on board. It might be that you can't get it all on board straight away, but you can start, where is the beginning of that? All right. So if you want to get fit, for example, you have to take some action, don't you? You can't just think, well, I'll get fit next year. You have to sign up for the classes or find something you can do regularly to help your fitness journey, for example. It may well be that you're going to explore whether you're in the right relationship. You don't need to make any real decisions, but where does the relationship feel good? Where does it not? Where is it draining your energy? Are you going to try and make sure the other person in that relationship knows that they're overstepping your boundaries or that they're draining your energy? Or are you just simply going to walk away? Right? It's up to you. You can try and work at it, or if it really doesn't look like it's going to work, then your best solution is to leave. We're not necessarily talking about major relationships. It will be for some of you, but it just could be any relationship really, which is draining. Notice who fills you up and who drains you this week. They will be the ones that fill you up, will be the people that you want to keep in your life, as an example. All right. What is it you want to do with your life? What is your soul purpose? Right? Everyone here listening to this is spiritual, and you know that you all have a purpose. Have you come away from that? How can you work more towards that? How can you be more in it? Sometimes that might mean, running a spiritual business or a healing business, but it might just mean that whatever you're doing if you have a job, in your job is enough. You may already be living your soul purpose, but some of you have strayed a little, and you know it. And that's sometimes because you've had other pressures in your life. And we do understand that. But sometimes giving way to the other pressures is just your way of not keeping to where you need to be. All right. Um, so use these energies, use the energy of the new moon and all the planetary activity this week. You don't need to know lots about it, just know it's really here to support you in making fresh starts, in setting your fresh vision, in wishing on a star. Really, though, feel into these things. Don't overthink anything. All right? Set your intentions, sow your seeds. All right? So, we wish you a wonderful week. Okay, so I hope that made some sort of sense. Obviously, I can help you with all of that through one of the many sessions that I can offer you, whether it's Akashic Records or Galactic Code or Soul Plan or just a chance to work with my guides. Do let me know. All right, so I wish you an amazing week. It's a lot to take in. I can feel a really big shift for me. I'm actually feeling quite tired today, so some of you might be feeling tired today, and that's because we know we're ready for these changes. All right, so take very good care of yourself. Bye for now.